Welcome back to the Industry F Podcast. We got our guest today. Introduce yourself, sir. Go for it.
My name is Rich Travali. I've been an engineer and predominantly a mixer for a long time now, over 30 years, out of New York predominantly, but I've worked in LA, Miami, Paris, France, Montreal. So I get around a little bit and moved to Nashville and still doing exactly what I've been doing.
Out of the house, studio here, you got a...
Studio in the house, correct.
Oh, great.
Correct,
Killer.
yes.
And how long in Nashville?
I am just over 2 years in Nashville, and I just re-upped, so I'm here for another year.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Well, first, we got Russ King as well. We just had him here. Julian piano guys to play keys with, and you guys are neighbors, right?
Very close, yes, yeah. Like 5-minute drive.
How'd you guys meet?
We met through a buddy of both of ours named DJ, wonderful guy.
That's the guy you play with?
The Magi.
The Magi. He plays with the Magi. I did work with the Magi. I mixed their EP and stuff, but became very close friends. Friends with all of them. Totally. But very close friends with DJ, and so we hang out and drink whiskey and smoke cigars. And I met Russ through him and a bunch of other people. So
cool.
DJ's been like a really formative guy for me for my time in
that's awesome.
In Nashville. He's really done a lot to help me get acclimated and meet people and stuff.
So you're gonna stay that one more year. You're still kind of digging it?
Yes, I am. It's a little bit of two stories, in that on the one story is the people that I've met in Nashville have been amazing.
Yep.
Really, really amazing. Industry in Nashville, I haven't broken through to my satisfaction yet. I've done plenty of indie stuff, like, we already mentioned the Magi, a few other things, but I'm a creature of the major labels. All my success has been, major label stuff, Billboard #1s, all that stuff. I haven't been able to break through on that level here yet. That's very frustrating. I don't know why, but I can't get the label people to return my calls.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you want to pop a little bit? You said whiskey, so I felt... Here, hold on. I think music grow here in Nashville.
Right.
Here, we'll trade.
Thank you. Beautiful.
I think the thing here, like 2015 when I first moved here, it seemed much more accessible back then. Thank you. And now it's wild because they're laying everybody off.
Right.
They're not making any money anymore. Not like they used to.
Right.
It's all streaming is like. I'm probably saying the wrong percentage, but it's like 60, 70%, which they used to be like 20. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all streaming now.
Yeah.
They're not signing as much anymore.
Right.
And all those big artists that maybe you worked with are out of their record deal, like the 10-year, whatever the heck it was,
Right.
And now they're independent, so they're kind of like, I just feel like the major industry music part of it is way different now.
That's 100% correct. Every aspect of that is
because growing up, correct. MTV, oh my God, I got to get signed. That was like a dream. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now it's like, is that even out there anymore?
Well, the thing is this, for you to do everything that you need to do for the labels to be interested in signing you, you no longer need the labels.
Yeah, totally.
If you're getting the views on YouTube and the streams on Spotify, and if you're getting everything that you need for them to take a look at you, well, why do I need you? What do you want to just take, 50% of my merch or whatever,
totally,
So you've already, by the time they're looking at you, you've already done everything that you need to do. Totally. So why not be your own label? Why not be your own management company?
I took a label, Vance, 2021, 22. No, it was no services, but it was a company. Some guy that came out of Capitol. I can't remember his name. It's called Beat Bread Cash Advance or something. Cash Bread or something. It's a funny name. But anyway, I would never do it again because I just paid it off. But $45,000 during COVID or whatever I got, I was like, hell yeah, dude, spent it. Went to Mexico twice on it. But it took me 5 years to pay it off, and when I got the paperwork, ChatGPT wasn't a thing yet, so I was like, I'm not gonna hire my lawyer for this, And so I basically paid back double. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, why the hell did I do that?
Yeah.
So sometimes those deals are terrible. It's good to have a really good music distribution deal, and then good services, and then there's a lot of mediocre songs out there that are popping off. You know what I mean? But the songs that are really good, that actually promote it, man, you can go pretty far if you're independent with it. There's so many, 50% of music consumed today is independent, Used to be completely different.
Yeah.
It's like the beer, we'll take a sip. It's like the beer craft days back in the day. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Russ, for hooking it up, man.
Yeah, thank you, Russ.
Yeah. Say something.
I'm good.
Say something really funny and engaging.
And go.
You had me at gay part of engaging.
There you go.
Happy Pride Month.
Oh my God, the comedy has entered the chat.
No.
You've had that before, right?
I'll say this.
I haven't, but I like that.
Nice.
I'll say this. I have had the pleasure of working with him. I worked with him on the Magi record, which is kind of where we really started hanging out.
Oh, cool.
Lucky enough to play with those guys, DJ Lee, Damian Horn. And so we've had a ball. And it's just really fun. He's such a good guy. And I think when I first moved here, I happened to run into the Sony guys, and I tried to get him into Sony. And it's just interesting that, like, he was on what's the first record with Nelly and
Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
This is something that we were talking about.
The first like crossover rap country stuff back then.
Yes, this is literally the very first one. I did it.
Wow.
Now here we are, and all the pop country guys are using hip hop elements, 808s and stuff like
They're all
that
doing it.
in their tracks and everything. And I'm like, hey, here I am. I'm the guy who did the first one, and it was a big hit. It was Nelly and Tim McGraw. And yet nobody's like asking me to mix these records, and it blows my mind. I don't understand why. I literally did the first one.
I think it's because we tossed before when we first met at Russ's house. It was like a year ago. We were hanging on the pool, hanging out, drinking. When I used to help run the Shinedown studio, it was the tail end of like Kickstarter. And
Right.
like, oh, you got 10 grand? No way. We can make an album with that. That's the price. Yeah, I'm just making a joke. But now and then the laptop came out, and that really kind of screwed everybody because now everyone can kind of just replicate it and go to YouTube. And how do you do that? You know what I mean? So everyone thinks they can do a really good mix.
thank you for correcting yourself.
Yeah.
You said everybody can do it. No, they think they can do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
But
correct.
it's not.
Yeah.
But then the younger generation's getting used to that weird, what do you want to call it, like that metallic AI voice that all these songs are coming out with, and
Right.
it's so I feel like now the younger generation's gonna think that's what sounds good is some guy popping it up on Spotify. Oh, it sounds cool, man. When really it sounds like shit in the car.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That reminds me of a quote, and I've said it a couple of times over these last couple of weeks, but there's a quote, I don't know who to credit it to, but it says, every generation gets the art they deserve. And if these kids are lazy enough and stupid enough to be like, oh, okay, let's let GPT make a song, and that's what I'm going to listen to. Well, you're kind of getting what you deserve, you know?
Totally.
But then what happens to the real artists? What happens to the guys who can really play the crap out of a guitar or a piano or write a great song and sing great? You know, like they're left out in the cold now.
Totally.
You know, it's a frustrating scenario.
It's weird. You know, you got thoughts on that? I feel like you're gonna say something about AI. No?
Oh no, I just feel like he just got canceled.
No. These young kids, these fucking hey,
Get off my lawn.
yeah, totally. Fuck them. I don't give a shit. There you go. I hate young kids. No, I'm just kidding. But it's true, man. It's that's always the argument. But I'll just post funny stuff sometimes on social media, kind of like a rage bait thing. You know, the other day I posted something, hey, who uses AI? And people are like, ah. And then some people are like, I hate it. And then some people are like, it's a good tool. And I think eventually people are going to kind of separate it because it's a good tool to bring you to water. But people are starting to learn quick. Oh, that's a full AI song. You know what I mean?
Right,
I get people who submit to me for my music company that we promote artists with, and it's funny. I'll call them out. Like someone will just email me, and I always have this new thing. I'm like, hey, you can text me because I always got my iMessage on, which kind of sucks. And everyone's got my number. We're talking about it. We're having sushi. How you get those calls all the time. But anyway, I'll get these texts and go, hey man, did you check out my song? I'm like, who is it? And I'll look it up, and I go, hey, is this AI? I'll just ask them, and they'll be like, no. I go, it sounds like it. And they go, okay, it is. Like they'll just straight up lie. You know what I mean? They're like,
yeah.
And then this one guy was like, I was like, oh, so it sounds like it's all AI. No, the instruments are, but that's my voice. I go, that sounds like an AI singer. He goes, well, okay, it cloned my voice. I go, I don't think it does that. You know what I mean? So I think people that are passionate are like, oh, I can get into music now. I can use Suno, right? I can use Suno, and then they do it, and it's my debut album. And real people, there's always gonna be real artists out there. So I don't think it's not gonna completely fall out, but I think actually people are starting to wise up and be like, oh, it's an AI song.
I hope you're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right. Yeah.
On that topic, I know I've been joking around and throwing in little one-liners here and having fun, but the one thing that is like truly a blessing to actually have that's real life are his stories.
Totally.
Like, I'm getting the chills because he has the greatest stories about all the different artists he has worked with, and so I don't know what you can share. If there's any that come to mind that you can think of that would, like for the layman who is like, what was it like hanging out with
X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
Well, you did some 50 Cent stuff, right?
I did some 50 stuff too. And 50, I have to tell you, he was one of the most charming, engaging guys you could ever hang out with. Like this dude was just like, he could have anybody at any social level and financial level, he could have them eating out of his hands. He's just a smart, charming dude.
You can tell by the interviews he has.
Yeah.
Whether he's trying to dog on somebody or he's being really genuine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead. Maybe nothing too crazy, but
yeah, no, I mean, and I actually was with him not long after the incident where he got shot a few times. Yeah, so that was, I mean, that's no joke. It doesn't get more serious.
Did you see him in the hospital, or he was already recovered?
No. He was already that was in the past, but the recent past, and he was still on Columbia at the time. And Trackmasters, who are a wonderful couple of guys, formative producers for me. Like, they had me on a lot of records. They were producing and or executive producing the record, so I was mixing songs for them.
Cool.
But yeah, no, and nothing weird went down on my sessions with 50, but it was right after that. And,
sure.
You know, so that was in the back of everybody's mind.
Totally. I mean, there's all those stories of like P. Diddy where they're like, dude, like there's one guy, I forget his name. Oh man, killer producer out of L.A. Gino the Ghost, they call him. He calls himself. He's kind of popped up on social media. He makes these stories where he's like, yeah, if I got asked by 50 Cent to go do like a songwriting camp they'll just bring producers. Hey, what beats can we make all together? P. Diddy would do it. And he's like, I wouldn't go because everyone said that it's some gangster shit going on over there. Don't go near it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And he always said 50 Cent was like, obviously this guy's hanging out, but he said it was always like productive and let's get some songs out.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Very cool. Now you bring up Puff. Well, I call him Puff because I was with him back in the day, like when he was with Uptown the inception of Bad Boy Records. I was working with him during all that time. So
wow.
I know he's Diddy now, but I call him, he was always Puff to me.
Well, he's in prison now, but
well, he's yeah. But the last time I saw him was in New York. It was quite a few years ago. I was working on a Robin Thicke record, and he came and visited.
Oh wow!
And this was before any of this stuff came out, and I hadn't seen him in years. And the dude was so cool. He was in front of Robin, who was my newest bread and butter, like high-end client.
Sure.
And he was like, oh, he gives me a big hug and says, Robin, this is the best guy, blah, blah. He was really, really cool and very respectful.
Well, he was a good
me.
business guy.
Yeah, no doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt.
You know?
The time that I did with him, now, don't get me wrong, it was crazy in terms of hours.
Sure.
Because, you get booked to start a mix at noon. You get there, there's like a blank tape with time code on the machine and nothing else. And then you wait a couple of hours and then some gear gets delivered. And then a couple of hours later, a producer shows up and they start like programming. And the real work didn't even happen till midnight or 2 a.m.
Totally.
Because that's by the time they got to the point where, now we actually need a mixer. But it was, if you were in that camp and you wanted to get a chunk of that,
you had to do it.
That success, because he was making amazing records at the time. That's what you put up with.
Totally. It's
no joke.
My buddy Majid Thicke, MJ Thicke. He used to work out of the Hit Factory in Miami.
What was the name again?
MJ Thicke, Majid Thicke.
I mean, I'm a big Hit Factory guy, but
sure.
Not out of Miami. I only worked there like 2 days.
Gotcha.
Shout out to Mark Lee.
Is he out of there?
Hit Factory in Miami, yeah. We worked with him down there.
Nice.
We pulled up, and it was Pete Puff Daddy or whatever. We parked, and he had a parking spot next to us at the Hit Factory in Miami.
Crazy.
We thought we were so cool.
Totally. Well, the stories he would tell was the same thing. Like, you got to put in your time. And, it kind of gets, these young kids. Like, I got all these, I'm trying to get a job. I've been doing this for a year. Dude, you got to be in it for...
Oh, no doubt.
You got to be the trash can guy and the coffee dude.
I started...
College grad as an intern.
I started at Hit Factory. Get there at 7 in the morning. I went around all the rooms. I cleaned all the control rooms, sharpened the pencils, sharpened the grease pencils, which is what you mark the tape with. Because this was back in the day of editing.
Yeah.
Because we were working on open reel analog tape.
Mm-hmm.
Did that. Like Windexed the little computer monitor on the SSL console. Finished all those 5 rooms. Boom. Then they started handing me envelopes and packages, and I'm running, envelopes and packages around town. And I was everywhere. I was up in Midtown. I was down in the Village,
Wow.
delivering stuff. If gear got rented and they couldn't get it over in the truck, I'm humping that stuff,
Yeah.
to and from the studio. But that's how you get in the door.
Mainly New York, right?
Oh, yeah, exclusively New York, because this is when I was what was called a general assistant at the Hit Factory.
Cool.
And that was like you did that before you ever got a chance to be on
Yeah,
the
I mean,
road.
wouldn't you want? It's like the military.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta. They're not just gonna give anyone a job. Also, too, everybody wants that job.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
I used to hang out a lot at United Recording and East Side or whatever, East Village. It's in LA on Sunset.
I've worked out there, but I don't remember that place.
Well, United Recording was Frank Sinatra's, and same thing. There's always kids lining up. I remember it was the lady from Seinfeld, whatever her name is, the Lois, Louise, whatever.
Oh, Louis Dreyfus.
Yes.
Julia
So
Louis-Dreyfus.
her son wanted a job there, and he literally thought, "I'm going to get the job," and it was pretty cool. The studio guys were like, "Nah, we don't care if your mom's famous." You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like you need to
yeah.
show up, and eventually the kid stopped. Because he's like, "Oh, screw this." You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's
He-
interesting.
He was unwilling to pay his dues.
Totally,
Yeah.
100%, man. But don't you want someone, even if it's a younger guy you're working with, feel like, oh, this guy earned it. Hey, man, you want to hop up here real quick?
Right.
Oh,
Right. No doubt.
So then, what age did you get into producing?
I guess I'm going to say mid-20s, I think, when I made the jump from assistant to actually like engineering and stuff.
Cool.
And it was initially at Hit Factory as one of their staff engineers. And what happens very quickly is if you do a good job and you get a reputation, you become an independent engineer very quickly, because at that point in time, the industry was very healthy and the scene in New York was exploding.
Sure.
Between Puff doing what he was doing and all the other producers, the track masters. You had the Wu-Tang guys down in Staten Island. It was just like all of these amazing records were being made. So guys were getting poached. It was like, no, you're coming with us. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So you were all of a sudden becoming independent.
what an
and
exciting
starting it was amazing. You're starting to, build the labels directly for a much significantly higher amount of money.
Totally.
And all of a sudden you're one of the real guys. And it's really cool.
Any Rick Beato stuff back then?
No.
Just curious.
I know who he is, and I enjoy watching his podcast.
Not Rick
stuff.
Beato. I'm so sorry. What's the guy's name? He's got the long hair. I'm not.
Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin. That's what I meant to say, man. My
He was, as I understand it, at that time, I think he was down over at Chungking with John King, which is another studio I have a big history and relationship with, but it was post the Rick Rubin stuff. I think Rick already
Gotcha.
moved out to L.A.
Gotcha.
before I started doing a lot of work at Chungking, because I did a lot of work at
Sure,
Chungking,
because he was doing a lot of rap stuff. And,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So was it always rap stuff? Was that kind of like what the genre you loved, or did you want to?
That's an interesting story, too. I'm a white kid from the Jersey Shore, from
Bruce Springsteen?
Interestingly, no. I've never liked Bruce. But I'm a rock kid. I was, The Who, The Stones,
Sure.
Eric Clapton, Neil Young, Santana. Those are my guys. That was close to my heart. But then when I went to the city and became an engineer, hip hop was exploding, and it was good too. It was the golden age of hip hop. Hip hop, when I got involved in it, early 90s to around the 2000s, the only way I could describe it is that was like rock and roll was in the 60s and the early 70s.
Sure.
It was revolutionary. People were breaking rules, creating completely new stuff, and it was amazing. So I thought I was going to be doing rock and roll when I got out of the Hit Factory, but I was doing hip hop, but I found hip hop to be amazing anyway.
Totally.
And compared to where rock was at that point, hip hop was clearly the better music. It was just more exciting, more going on, and it was
Late 90s or late 80s, early 90s was nuts.
It was insane. Yes.
I was born in 1990, but I'm just saying all the shit that I read and all the music you listened to.
it was fantastic
Yeah.
back then.
Can you name some of the artists that you were working with and that you did?
Well, I mean, all right. So all of the staple of Puff stuff. Notorious B.I.G. I did his whole first record, and including back then, because I wasn't a known quantity as a mixer, I was also tracking him too. So I knew him. You know what I
Sure.
mean? It was cool. Biggie, Craig Mack, who was a phenomenal rapper on his label, and then he had the two girls, Faith Evans and Mary J. And so I worked with them. And
girls.
then with
That's so cool.
with Trackmasters, I did Nas and all the Nas related projects.
Oh,
and Nas,
wow.
I love Nas. He's to this day probably my favorite rapper.
Cool.
Phenomenal guy. And if he sees this, Nas, why aren't you calling me for the records? But so I loved working with him. Who else with Trackmasters? I did LL Cool J with the Trackmasters, the Mr. Smith album, and the Phenomenon album. Who else with Trackmasters? Will Smith, Getting Jiggy with It.
Wow.
Miami. That was all me because of my connection to that.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah.
Well, then what are you using? Pro Tools?
No. This was all analog 2-inch on large format analog consoles.
Sure.
Now, I worked both on Neve and SSL.
Okay, Neve, yeah.
SSL was more common, but I actually preferred the Neve console.
Sure.
It was the Neve VR, and when you really pumped that console hard, the sound was amazing.
Sure.
Now, SSL had a way to make the sound amazing, too, because they had those great dynamics processing on every module, and you could really make drums pop and make things really, really tight and in your face,
Sure.
which was a phenomenal thing. You couldn't try the Neve technique on an SSL or the SSL technique on a Neve, but if you went with what Neve did best, you could get an amazing mix, and if you went with what SSL did best, you also could get an amazing
Sure,
mix.
but you're more of a Neve guy.
I'm more a Neve guy, but
Gotcha.
I still did plenty of time on SSL because there were just more of them.
Totally.
And back in the day, it was 2-inch analog.
Mm-hmm.
And on the bigger projects, it was, 2 machines, so 48-track analog.
Any crazy stories of tape getting destroyed? I bet.
I'm going to tell a story now. I don't know that I've ever done it in public, and certainly not with a microphone in front of me, but I was an assistant at the Hit Factory with...
God, that'd be so frightening.
Oh, my God. And I'm working with a band called Cameo, Larry Blackman, those guys, like a funk outfit. It was really great
Cameo.
music. These guys were amazing. And I'd been working with them for a couple of months, and everything was cool. There was no, they liked me, I liked them. I show up one morning, to get ready. I got my coffee and my bag from King Deli, which was a little deli downstairs from the studio, and I would get my egg sandwich or whatever. So I put the reel on the Mitsubishi 32-track digital machine, which was the X850 at the time. Put it down, click, roll it, spool it up, tighten it up. I hit rewind. I turn around to the console to start setting up the console. All of a sudden, I hear behind me. I turn around. I'm freaking horrified. The reel popped up. The tape was still rewinding, but it was getting mangled.
Yeah, totally.
So I dive at it. I turn the machine off. I freak out. I have an existential crisis. I'm like, this is it. My career is over.
Yeah,
I'm going back to Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm going to be washing dishes at a restaurant on the shore.
Yeah.
And forget the music industry from
Yeah.
now on. So,
Or you're going to get murdered.
See, so I slowly rewind or fast forward just manually.
Did
the
you wear
tape.
gloves when you do that, or you just...
No, it's just barehanded.
Okay,
barehanded.
gotcha.
Being careful, obviously. But, I managed to get it all spooled back onto the reel that it's on. I much more carefully load it back on again, and I rewind past the point where it was all crunchy. The last song on that reel, which was the song that was damaged, was the first song on that album and the first single. It was called You Make Me Work, and it was a great song. Now, at that time, though, because it was still at the end of the era of remixes, like 12-inch mixes where they would do extended versions of the songs.
Sure.
So they didn't just print 4 minutes for the song. They printed like 7-8 minutes in case you needed
Some more stuff.
some more stuff to just use for your alt versions. And so I'm playing it. The intro goes by, the verse goes by, blah, blah, blah. We get all the way into the outro and everything is playing back again. So I'm starting to feel like, okay, maybe I'm going to be alive at the end of the day.
Yeah.
In the fade, pretty far down in the fade, all of a sudden, massive, massive dropout across all 32 tracks. And I'm like, oh my God. Right? But there was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could do at that point.
Yeah.
So I did the session for that day. Now, what ends up happening is Craig Vogel, who was a Hit Factory staff guy, wonderful guy, really good engineer. He was the engineer on that session, and I was his assistant, and we had a good relationship. Craig was real meticulous. So like every time we worked on that song, You Make Me Work, and he did the rough mix for Larry to bring home with him, he was pulling down the master fader at, say, 4 minutes and 30 seconds. He was doing the fade the same place every time. Now, the big disaster on tape is another minute down the thing.
Sure.
So I'm like, so now I'm confident, like, oh, we're never, ever going to hear that again.
We're never going to get to that.
We're never getting to that. So I got away with it. Quote that. And so we worked for like another month or so, and it's totally like not even on my mind anymore. I'm just thinking like, oh, that's just, in the past.
Yeah.
So we're working upstairs in the big room, Studio C at the Hit Factory. We have live horns in. This is back when you actually used live horn players to do live horns. It wasn't a sample.
Like an echo chamber and all that shit.
So we got 5 of the best horn players in New York out in the room, and they're doing overdubs, and everything's going well. Now, I had gotten along so well with Craig to this point, and I was so comfortable at Hit Factory and with the Cameo guys and with Craig and everything. I was like, okay, everything's working fine. I left the session and I walked up Broadway to 58th Street and I went to Famous Amos and I got myself a triple chocolate chunk cookie, which was my favorite thing on the planet.
Nice.
So I get that and I'm walking back and I'm chomping on
all
that.
happy.
Get up into the elevator
I'm
up
not
to the
getting
5th
fired.
floor. I walk into the room with like my half-eaten cookie. The air is like so stressed out you could cut the air with a knife. I walk into the room, the chief of maintenance, Larry Blackman, Craig the engineer, they're all staring at the machine. What's going on? It turns out because they had the horn section and because they were thinking in terms of possible remixes and whatever, they said, all right, that tagline with the horn, just play it all the way to the end of the tape. So they rolled into the big dropout.
Yeah.
And everybody freaked out. And I was and I was 3 blocks away, almost to Central Park, getting a cookie at the time. And then I come back to this, insanity.
Yeah.
But
So what happened, dude?
what happened was...
Did you get fired?
No. Our chief of maintenance knew that we had 2 X850s in the building. One was owned by the Hit Factory. One was owned by Larry. And he wanted to cover the Hit Factory. And he's immediately going, Larry, I can clearly see here. You see how this is creased like that? This machine sucked the tape into it. So he's, in protecting the Hit Factory, he's actually protecting me because I'm the guilty party.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So I just kept my mouth shut. And it was funny too, because Larry was like, he was a smart guy. And he was like, he wasn't like buying it. Like his bullshit sensor's kind of going off, but he couldn't come up with anything to really like counter that. So we moved forward. We knew that, if we needed to edit more of the tag on it, because it was a repeated 8-bar phrase, like everything, you could redo that onto it, digital to digital, no loss of generations. We could repair that should we have needed to. But like literally, so it's like, okay. And we just moved forward, and then it just became a part of the past and never came up again. But I literally could have lost my job.
Yeah, it's the
Is
reveal.
this the big reveal right now? Here?
This is it. I don't know why I chose to say it right here, right now, but it's also 30 some odd years after the fact.
Yeah, you're gonna have like a hitman show up to your house.
I don't think anybody's gonna. Yeah, but
Dude, you're good storyteller. That was great. I was literally like, what the hell was gonna happen? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, but that really happened, and I completely got away with it.
Someone's looking out for you, because aren't those times you're just like, I've worked my ass to get here, and is this going to be you know what I mean? And you were fine, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's killer, man. Well, then, so let me ask you this about Nashville. Why here? Just because everyone was moving here? Like the exodus?
Yeah. What happened is this. In addition to post-COVID New York being a shadow of what it once was, there was that happening, and I also had a big life change. I got divorced. And the thing was, before I got divorced, there was no way I was ever going to not live in Jersey, because my wife's family was there and her mom was in ill health. So I couldn't say to her, hey, we have to move because there are other cities that are going to be better for my career. There was no way that was going to happen.
Totally.
So the one thing that was good about the divorce was like, now I'm free. I can do what I want to do. And I was thinking, well, I could go out to L.A., and I know LA, and I like LA too, but the one thing I also know about LA is When you're on top, they love you out there.
Totally.
When you're not on top, all of a sudden nobody's returning your phone calls.
Totally.
You know, so I wasn't sure about going out there, but I had heard good things about Nashville. But I also have a couple of people here. A good friend of mine, Sasha and Pat. They're a married couple. I've known Sasha literally since the '80s, and I've known Pat since they got together. And they're both wonderful people and very, very good friends of mine. So I said, let me try Nashville. At least I have like a little built-in family there.
Some community.
Yeah.
You know?
And so that's why I picked here.
Yeah, you know what? We moved 2 years ago, moved back here, and I miss LA. I want to go back to California so bad, but it is, I mean, LA, man, I was just the guy putting on shows, and so people were like, can I open a show with you? There was not really a sense of community out there. Obviously, it's dope to live there. But, you know, you can be at the beach, you can be snowboarding the same day, you know, and then go to the desert and hang out.
I loved, if I was going to move out there, there was Manhattan, Redondo, and Hermosa.
Yeah.
Loved it down there.
I lived in San Pedro right next to it.
All right, there you go. I would had no problem doing that commute because I was working at the Village a lot. Loved the Village.
That's what I'm talking about. The Village is right next to United. That's what's transferred.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on Sunset.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm a veteran of the Village, and I love that studio. And Jeff Greenberg, to my knowledge, is still running the place.
Yes.
Awesome guy.
Yep.
And then there's also, in the other direction, I guess it might be North Hollywood. There's a studio called Chalice.
Yeah, it's a great spot. Yeah.
Love Chalice. I did a lot of work there, and they took amazing care of me, and the room sounded great. And it was like a big multi-room facility, but it was boutique-y in mindset.
Totally.
Like the first time I walked in there, I walk into the room that I'm going to be mixing in. I'd never been in this place before. I was on the red eye the night before. Boom, you know, couple hours of sleep in the hotel. Found my way to the studio. Walk into the room where I'm going to be mixing. There's literally a silver platter on the outboard rack. It's got a bottle of Blanton's and a bunch of Cuban cigars because the owner, Ben, had heard that I like bourbon and cigars.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, how are you going to argue with that kind of service and that kind of respect? You know, it was
100%,
amazing.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, then, so you think there's just no budget anymore for all this stuff? I know we're bouncing around, but do you think is that kind of the problem?
I don't know. I mean, I wish.
Obviously, I'm just asking you, like, have you had to adapt and change your pricing to adapt to the industry, or
Yes.
Yeah.
That, I mean, first of all, nobody's going to pay to fly me to LA and then pay to put me up in Mondrian and then pay the $2,200 a day mix fee.
Yeah.
And then get also all the rentals that I want.
And then per diem or all the good stuff.
You know, but nobody's doing that. If you just send me the files and I download them, I mix it at my house.
Yeah.
And it's so tight now, I can't even charge. Here's my rate for doing the mix, and here's the rate for my studio. I have to give them like a combined
package.
Yeah, and not say it's broken down. It's this to that because just nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to pay that. They just want to know a number, and I'm going to deliver a mix.
Totally.
So,
yeah, I mean, it's rough. I mean, what about you doing like recording sessions? Do you feel, I don't know, you go to some guy's house to do it? I mean, I just remember coming up, going to the studio was the shit. You know what I mean? And
I love going to the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still love going to the studio.
But I'm just saying it's just those days, they seem less.
Yeah.
You know? Just because everyone's like, oh, man, I can do it over here for $500 on my laptop in my house. And,
right. I miss those days terribly for every reason there is. Number one, I don't care if you're a musician who downloaded a free software and kind of sort of figured out how to work it. You're not an engineer.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but I'm not here to kiss anybody's ass. I'm telling the truth. You're not an engineer because you play an instrument and you kind of sort of figured out how to work Logic Pro.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
So there's that. There's also the aspect of back when there were big multi-room facilities, you ran into people. There was a sense of community. Are we running late?
Go.
All right, cool. You ran into people. There was a sense of community. So, and not only friends, like other engineers that I might not have seen him since Miami in 91 or something like that, but there was also producers everywhere. And it's like out of sight, out of mind. But you run into a producer and like, Rich, I got something for you. And all of a sudden your 4-day stay is now an 8-day stay because, well, my gear's rented and I'm in this room.
Come up here.
Let's see if you can extend the booking and I'll do your record too.
What a magical time.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing.
Totally. Well, then Nashville, you came here 2 years. You're just doing stuff out of your house. I mean, is it just hard to network? Or are you not a live music guy? Do you like going to shows?
I'm I'm a little bit of a crusty old dude. If it's stuff that I like,
crusty old crab.
Yeah, I mean, if it's stuff that I like, I want to go see it. Like when the Magi plays, I go.
Sure.
But there's stuff out there that I don't want to go see. I don't want to be, have my head wrung at 140 dB for 2 hours.
Totally.
I don't want to pay $60 to park downtown.
Yeah.
Just for the opportunity to like talk to somebody for 5 minutes and hoping that he's going to hire me.
Totally.
I don't see that as a good bargain.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the alternate to that is, but I do know that to me, and that's what everybody suggests to me, by the way. Everybody who says, if you really want to break in, just go see the live stuff. Go see the live stuff. But, I don't know how realistic that is.
If you're the artist, it's like, you came and saw me. It makes them feel good.
Right.
But for you to go out and have a crapshoot of spending $300,
Right.
I don't know, man, it's just different now, I thought you were going to say something.
No, there's two stories that I would love to hear about.
Sure.
One is about the whiskey that I think it was in your early years when you went on you had to go find this whiskey across town.
Yeah,
That's a good story. And another one, if you can tell it, is the car that was rented for you.
The BMW?
Yeah, the one that I think it was for you. They thought it was for the artist. Can you
One
tell
of
those stories?
one of my times. Well, that's an easy
Cheers.
one.
We got like 30 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, cool. All right, so this is at a time when I was going out to LA a lot. 6, 7, 8 times a year. And they were putting me up in either the Mondrian or the Sunset Marquis. And I was working at either Chalice.
What's Mondrian? Where's that at?
Mondrian?
Mondrian, where's that?
Mondrian is that hotel right on Sunset on the hill. It's got Sky Bar in it.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Awesome.
I've been there. So go ahead.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I'm a big LA guy. Hollywood, Rainbow Bar, Roxy.
Right,
all that shit, man. I lived in Miracle Mile, so I was always hanging out over there. The Comedy Store.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
So this will. I just lost my train of thought.
Oh shit.
What was it?
Car.
The car.
The car. Oh yes. So I'm doing a lot of work out in L.A. for Pharrell, the Neptunes. He was still with Chad at the time, so it was the Neptunes.
Oh, cool.
Pharrell and Chad, and I was doing a lot of stuff with Robin. So they were always taking care of me. They were putting me up at the Mondrian, and they always gave me like a nice rental car and everything. But I think this one time they got like confused information at the rental company, because I used to get, just like a decent, cool car and everything. One time I go there, they gave me a 7 Series convertible BMW.
For the week?
Yeah. I'm not the star. I'm just the mixer.
Yeah,
and I'm tooling around in this thing.
So you just show up to the airport at Hertz or something? Oh, here's your car, sir. And he's like,
yeah, it was one of those things. It was just one of those things. Like, got off the plane. I used to try to fit everything. I hated waiting for my luggage.
Yes,
so I used to try to have everything in an expandable overhead thing. So I would grab that, get to the rental cars as quickly as I could. I liked to get off that airport site as quickly as possible.
So LAX sucks.
But yeah, but I was like, wow, that's a nice car. and that was awesome.
I'm pretty sure that was for the artist.
Yeah. The guy gets like a shit car. That's
he got a Corolla, and I'm in the BMW 7 Series.
We don't say shit. And you fuck up the tape too. No, I'm just kidding. Well, then talk about you've told me this whiskey story. This is when I first met you, but I don't remember it.
There was Keith Richards. This is when I was just a mere assistant, or actually, it might have even been when I was a general assistant at Hit Factory.
Uh-huh.
Keith Richards was in with his solo band, and they were doing the first Expensive Winos record.
Okay, cool.
Phenomenal record, by the way. And they, for whatever reason, Keith wanted this whiskey called Rebel Yell. It's now called Rebel. It still exists. They had to change the name for wokest reasons. You can't call it Rebel Yell, but now it's called Rebel. Yep. But at the time it was called Rebel Yell. And whiskey availability here is crazy, but it's not as crazy in New York, and it certainly wasn't as crazy in New York in the 80s.
Totally.
So my boss found it across town, way over on First Avenue, and getting across from the west side in Midtown to the east side, up and down's fine, but getting across is miserable. It could take hours, know. Yeah. But my job was every night to go over there and get bottles of this whiskey and bring it back so Keith could have
you bring it back in a bag? So
like a box.
Just
but I was walking, yes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
They didn't pay for a cab.
Yeah. So you're just
Yeah. Yeah.
Just sloshing bottles over.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what? It just took you forever to go get it, or?
That's why he's so ripped. He said a
Yeah,
case.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all here. It's all here, dude. You're fucking. So what? You got it. You had to go down there and get it. Is there more? To
I
the
had to go
story?
down there and get it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they drank a lot of Rebel Yell.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice. Yeah, that whiskey bourbon here in Tennessee, Kentucky, it's like religion.
Yeah.
That's why I moved back. I mean, I want to move back. I just got a new distributor in California, which is awesome. But the reason I moved back was because people in California, it's more tequila, mezcal, seltzer, weed.
Right.
Here,
right.
it's like religion. Like, oh, I like brown liquor. So it is more accessible here for sure. But, dude, 2015, 18, when I was starting this, we were kind of special because we were like, oh, who's this new young brand? Nah, everybody's got a brand,
Right.
It doesn't really impress me anymore, and I feel like sometimes, I don't know, it comes in waves, just like music and stuff.
Right.
Sometimes people say, oh, is this new? And so now there's a new conception of it of, oh, good for you, man. I'm like, no, we've been doing this shit for 8 years. You know what I mean? So it's weird having a brand today. But it's just like being a band. You just gotta stick around long enough, you start getting some success with it,
Right,
So,
right.
well, what about, this is a good question. What about bands? You don't ever see them anymore, huh? It's all artists. Do you agree?
I do agree, yes.
Okay.
But see, the thing is this, and again, I'll just tell the truth because it's the truth. I'm not some hipster out there with my ear to the ground.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's too much music now, dude.
Exactly.
Everybody's an artist.
Exactly.
But no offense, it all kind of, maybe because I'm getting older, but it all kind of, it's just the same shoegaze, indie, Silver Lake, LA type hipster stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of music today.
Yeah. I look at it, and if it's wrong and if I have to need to modify it, that will happen over time. But I just figure if something gets to the point where it gets on my radar,
Sure.
now it's something that I'm interested in being
So
involved
how's it
with.
get on your radar? Internet? Like how you?
Either internet or a little bit internet, yeah, like social media streaming, or just the group that we hang out with.
Go, hey, you should check
Because a
this.
lot of guys, not me, but a lot of the other guys around the table, when we're hanging around just sipping and smoking, people will be like, oh, this band and that band, oh, play that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I'm not in love with everything by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
But if something is like, wow, that's really good, then I would want to be involved.
Guitar driven or what? Like what's something you're like, oh, whoa. Like if you heard it today, new bands because the guitar's ripping or just the beat or the songwriting.
I want to hear a song. First
song?
and foremost, I want to hear a song.
Usually when we're hanging out and we hear something that's good, it's something he already mixed.
Yeah. Oh, I did that.
These guys,
Yeah.
Russ and DJ both put together playlists
That you worked
of
on.
my stuff. And
That's
not to
cool.
sound arrogant, but I have a backlog of massive hit records. So you can do a 2-hour playlist of all my mixes,
That's
and everybody
sick.
knows the song.
It doesn't suck to smoke cigars and drink whiskey and then Big Poppa comes on. It's like
Yeah.
It's not like the worst scenario.
That's pretty surreal,
Yeah.
right? Well, let me ask you this, because I get a lot of different comments about this today, about publishing and writer share and all that. Is that a necessity with you? If
No.
if I want to, hey man, like you're like I need some points on this thing.
I have records that I have points on. It's not publishing.
Gotcha.
Like production points.
Gotcha.
My points on the records that I have points on are calculated like a producer's points, but not like a writer's points. I don't
Gotcha.
have publishing. I have mechanical royalties.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
There's a lot of producers, a lot of clients I have in LA where I don't know why I maybe just because I live, I get a lot of them over there. Like, yeah, they just kind of don't know the industry because I think people here are a little more educated about it. And they're like, oh, I gave this guy 50% of my pub, and I'm like, whoa, why did you do that?
I
they're like, well-
wouldn't take somebody's publishing money because I think that's unethical.
I think it is too.
You know?
Because they have this one artist, she's awesome, and she said it's like 10 tracks on a record. I'm like, so you're the one spending all the money promoting it, and then you're not making much anyway.
Right.
And then she goes, why would he do that? I go, well, but think about it. If he does 100 artists a year, he does it to everybody. Homie's getting a nice check every quarter.
Yep,
You know
no
what I mean?
doubt,
Because
no doubt.
it's all about catalog.
And if something explodes,
Yeah.
he's over the top.
Yeah, I just hired this guy to fix my stuff, Ben Stauffer, Counterpoint Music. And we found this guy today. He's running for like Palisades City Council member. I didn't tell you about this. And he's still collecting she had a little label back then. It's like 10 songs of mine. And he probably has a couple grand he took from me. But it was hidden. There's certain ways people just can collect your stuff. And
Right.
it's a nightmare, man. I think the music industry today is it's not just services and distribution. It's also like management of like making sure you're not getting screwed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's so now it's like your music's on Meta and they're collecting stuff and some guy can go claim it. Getting your royalties correct is nuts. I just paid a guy $500 my first Sound Exchange check last month. I was getting Sound Exchange for nothing for years. $1,200. And he goes, "Oh, it's probably gonna happen every month now." I was like, "What?
Nice.
Isn't that crazy?" It's wild.
I mean, he did say it's unethical, and the one cool thing about him is he's actually, even though he's a freaking rock star, is he's accessible.
Yeah.
Like I'll hit him up and be like, "Hey, I'm working on this thing," and like just did the music for Dean Thomas from the UFC. He did a short
the movie.
film.
Yes.
Called
We worked on
Flowers.
that together. Yeah.
And
wow.
Yeah. And like at first I was like, "Hey, can I come over?" And we worked on some stuff, and then we ended up doing stuff. I got the Magi license on there, and he mixed that, and it was awesome. And then the other cool part that we haven't even talked about is his jiu-jitsu stuff. So can I take this time to officially challenge Matt Serra and Dean Thomas to a brawl with Rich Travali?
Are you a karate guy?
A Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, black belt, right?
Really?
I'm a black belt.
Wow, holy shit.
The difference between jiu-jitsu and karate is that jiu-jitsu actually works.
Yeah, totally. You just kill somebody.
It's definitely, well, it's been proven. It's been proven for decades. It's very effective. It's very effective in a fight. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this: on the subway in New York when you were young, was that when you were learning? Like when would you start?
Probably safer.
Oh no!
back then.
Interestingly enough,
true.
I literally walked onto the mat for the very first time at 44 years of age,
Oh wow,
and I got my black belt in my late 50s.
dude.
Yeah, so I'm not like
Yeah. Okay.
it's
Okay. Well, just ask.
Oh, yeah.
Just give us one dope story of when you had to use it. If that.
Oh
fits
no,
around.
I've never. No.
Really.
What you'll find is people who know how to fight
Don't
don't
fight.
want to fight.
Totally, because you know you can hurt
It's
them.
only the idiots, the drunken frat boys,
Yeah.
the wannabe tough guys. They're always looking to fight.
Totally.
The people who know how to fight are like,
Don't get near me.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
But you said he had a brawl with
What?
Dean Thompson, or
Dean Thomas? No, I was.
Oh,
that
he's
was a
doing a
challenge.
theoretical.
That was
A
a challenge.
theoretical.
I was like, let me put it out there right now.
over my head. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Well, then, are you also producing records, or is it just mixing?
Just mixing, and I'll do a little engineering too. I mean, I started out recording everything from full bands to chamber orchestras.
But mixing's your thing.
Mixing is my thing.
Okay.
If somebody needs a couple of things recorded and then to get to the mix, of course I can do that.
But you're not going, "Hey man, let me produce your whole record for you."
No.
Well-
But now the other thing is this: I wouldn't rule it out if I liked the band and I liked the music.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my studio is really a mix suite with a vocal booth. Like
No
I can
drums.
do vocals, I can do, one instrument overdubs, stuff like that, guitar, acoustic guitar,
You've done
put an amp
keyboards.
in there,
You've done keyboards,
keyboards.
Yeah.
But I can't set up a band and track a band.
Yeah, you're like
We would have to rent a room to do the actual basics.
yeah. So you're just like post, like, "Hey, let's sweeten this thing up."
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I got an idea. Hey, come over. All right, boom.
Yeah.
I think that
But,
might be part. I think that could be part of it. Now that we're sitting here talking about it, is because you're like so legendary in how many records you've mixed and all the people you've mixed. Like you really are still accessible. Like I think that part might be missing for people.
Well, I think a piece for you if you're trying to get more clients, so I'm sure you are, right?
Yes.
Is you gotta let that be known, because there's got to be a kid down in Franklin or Brentwood here with like a parent who's like, "You want to do your first record? I'll pay for it."
Right,
Or
right.
something like that.
Yeah,
And they're like, "Oh, I mean, I don't know if I think I did connect. Did I connect to Keith Nesbitt? I think when we talked about it, he books 50 Cent. And so he's
Really?
booked
Okay.
50 Cent for 20 years. So his son opened up for me again at the Exit Last week. And he books Blue Oyster Cult, Kansas, Mary
Wow,
J. Blige.
okay.
Keith is a rock star in himself. But his son's band's called the Photonics, and I was connected because they're always, he's smart. He's like, they need to get mixed, they need to get they need a different mastering house. The mixer's not gonna do, you know what I mean? Like he knows how to.
Yeah, right,
He's been
right.
doing it. I'll connect you to Keith. He's great. He's from England.
That already sounds like my kind of people, because even how you just said something smart where a guy can mix the record,
Yeah.
but if that same guy says, "Oh, I'll master it in the same
studio.
room
Yeah.
on the same speakers," get the hell away from him. He's
Yeah.
not mastering. He's EQing it,
Yeah.
but he's not mastering.
And mastering is like wizardry.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like wizardcraft stuff. But now everyone's got a program to do it. You know what I mean? So they'll go, I master it, and it's not mastering it.
Yep.
You know
I know. Yeah, no.
I when I used to work at the Shinedown studio, I learned that a long time ago. Like, we're gonna send this guy to Memphis. It was Brad Blackwood, Euphonic.
Right.
He did like big stuff. A lot of Christian Dove albums, but like Black Eyed Peas and stuff.
That was de rigueur before the big crash. Because I was always using guys like Herb Powers and Chris Geringer and Greg Calby, depending on the style of music or whatever. But we were going to Sterling with all the masters, listening to it in some incredibly accurate room on speakers that went from 20 hertz to 20K, and you're really hearing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when the mastering decisions are made. It's not like putting it back up again in your same little room, over your garage, and then just making it brighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It's a different thing.
Well, I'm not trying to get you to say on tape what your price is, but let's say, and think about it. What if it's like an indie band? Like, what's the minimum for a new act where it's like, I'm not going to charge you too much? Like, how much you work for them, you think? Like a new band where it's like, hey man, I'm a young kid, I'm a huge fan of you. You know what I mean?
For a whole album or for a single?
Just a single.
I think $1,000.
That's great.
Yeah.
To have a legend go, I'll mix that.
Yeah.
That right there is a freaking steal.
Gotta like you first.
Yeah.
On to the mastering thing though. That was an interesting thing too. Is if you have a good masterer, is that the right word? Masterer receives a beautiful mix.
You didn't like
shouldn't have to do too much, right?
Too much, yeah, totally.
Great point. And I'll tell you another little story about that.
Keep going.
If you deliver a great mix, a real professional mastering guy knows not to do anything, just get it to the level it needs to be, whether it's for for a cutting lathe or for a CD or now for streaming, obviously too. But that's the thing. And what happened was when I mixed the song "Hot in Here" for Nelly, which was a Billboard #1 pop hit for 7 straight weeks.
Getting hot.
It was it was a smash.
I referenced it.
That record.
Yeah, you did? Oh, I think you did. That's right.
They tried to master that record 3 times without me being there.
Oh.
And the executive producer, who was also Nelly's A&R guy, hated it every time. He said, "Rich, can you please go down there and figure this out?"
Where was this? What studio? Or what? This is New York?
I think it was Hit Factory Mastering.
Okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure it was. So I went down there and I worked with one of the guys, and he was a cool guy, and his name's escaping me now, and I'm sorry if he hears this. I'm sorry that I don't remember his name because he's cool as hell. But I was like, "Look, dude, I think this sounds really good." He's like, "Yeah, I think it does too." That mastering on that record that was ultimately approved was literally off the analog tape, through a Manley compressor with 1 dB of gain reduction only on the biggest peaks. Where the 808 hit on the downbeat, it was getting like a dB of gain reduction, and then printed back into Sequoia. That was the master.
That's cool.
No EQ, no weird bullshit, in any way. Literally just to a really, really high-end transparent compressor, maximum 1 dB of gain reduction.
Wow.
And that is what you hear.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking. Oops, that's a good mix.
No. Dude, you can talk. I'm just saying, like you just went in there, you're like, okay, but that's it. Just like you went in and just like what you just told me, like the 1 dB reduction, you just went in and that's it. That's all we need. Or was it like hours or?
No. It was probably 20 minutes.
After 3 failed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But so many people and I'm not saying that their heart's in the wrong place, but so many people like want to dig in there and do a ton of stuff because I got to earn my money or I read some article and I want to do this one. Well, listen first. It might be all there.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not unheard of to have a great mix. You know what I mean?
You know, one thing I hate the most is when we'd have artists in the studio and like their manager or their somebody, can I come listen when you mix? Oh my God, dude. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not rock and roll. You're literally sitting there having lunch and then, you know what I mean? Right?
Yes, 100%. And I've had friends ask me that too. And these are good people and they're friends. And I don't want to insult them or anything, but I also don't want anybody watching me when I'm doing it.
Also, too, they also don't want anybody watching what you're doing, too.
Well, that's the other thing too. Yeah.
Like picking up on a trick you're doing.
Right. But
it's not.
But
trick,
for me, it's just
style.
Even though I've been at it for so long, there is still a certain insecurity that I have. And I think as soon as you don't have an insecurity, I think you got to stop, because now you're no longer learning, or you're not, your mind space is not right.
Oh, that's great.
I don't want somebody else in the room inhibiting me from trying something, because if it's wrong and I'm just by myself, who cares? Okay, this sucks. This is dog water. Let me try something else. But if somebody's witnessing me doing something that sucks and I got to throw it away after 20 minutes of trying to turn it into something, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just want to be me doing my thing.
Also, it's
when
work.
it's ready for people to hear, I'm going to send you an email of it. You know what I mean? That's when you know I want you to hear it, is when I send it to you.
Totally. And also, it's work, man.
Yeah. So.
It's not like everyone just wants to hang in the studio because it's cool, but you're like, dude, I'm trying to get shit done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we got left. I want to make sure you can plug anything. So, yeah, we got like 10 minutes. Is there anything that you want to plug about you? You know what I mean? About, hey, man, I'm on this podcast. Come find me. How can people find you?
Well, all right. So, I mean, you can find me very, very simply, richtravali.com.
Cool.
And there is a,
spell it.
RICHTRAVALI.com. First name, last name, no space. No space, no period or anything. richtravali.com. And the last page is a contact page. If you click that, it will give you an email address that I get all the time. And then it also helps me, too, because when I see that one, because that's Travali Booking at Gmail. And so this way I can tell how much traffic and how much work I'm getting through my website, as opposed to people just like finding me through other stuff.
Sure.
But anybody who wants to work with me, I am open. I will always want to work with new people. I hope the music is great. And even more important is I hope that the people are cool, because I don't like to work with assholes.
Totally, man.
But if you fall into those two categories, get in touch. I want to do your work.
Totally.
So literally just go to my site, hit the button, get in contact with Rich, bang, and I'll get back to you within a day of you sending the email.
Do you think people who are assholes know they're assholes?
That's the other thing, though. Yeah.
If you're an asshole, stay away. Dude, no, I work with... I got a text the other night at like 1 a.m. Hey, did you get my email? And I almost fucking lost it. I did lose it. I was like, I am sleeping. Like, people just don't get it, man.
Why do you have your ringer on or something?
I just looked and I saw. I was like, who is it?
I page through too, because sometimes if I'm not falling asleep, I'll page through.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, did I miss something?
And then something beeps.
And I saw a text like, hey, you didn't email me back. And I go, or you didn't text me back about the email. And I had to screenshot it and go, did you look up? Oh, my bad. And I was like, it's 1 a.m., dude. I'll hit you at 9 in the morning tomorrow. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I think the days of just like, it's okay. A day went by, dude. I'll hit you back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those days are long gone. Because you got this fucking thing and social media. And I turned off my read receipts years ago. I don't want anybody knowing I read their shit. You know what I mean? Because if they see you read it, they're like, oh, hit me back. You're like, oh my God. I had another client the other day. I don't care if they see this stuff. Another client today I was like, hey, I'm on a flight. I'll hit you back when I land, and I'm like settled. He goes, well, if you have Wi-Fi, can you just hit me back real quick? Yeah, and I was like, oh.
Wow.
I was losing it, man.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But
that's a little bold.
But you work for yourself, and so you want to be available and treat the customer and client with so much love, but you're kind of like, dude, I'm also a person.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's wild. It's a wild thing being an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? So, well, okay, let me ask you more question, then we'll end it with a cool way. But when did you start working for yourself full time? Like, would you go, hey, I'm going to start doing this on my own, or did it just kind of just happen? Like the studios were kind of not hiring, or?
It happened pretty early on, I guess 93, 94, when I had phased out of the Hit Factory. And and what was funny too is also there was a crossfade time, because I was still on staff there, and one of my main clients at the time was Paul Simon, and he was booking in there, and that was a great gig. I mean, you don't turn down work with like one of America's classic artists. So I was like working with Hit Factory, getting paid through them for Paul Simon. Well, then I was going out at night and doing stuff like mixing a Nas record or stuff like that. And then, so there was a crossfade time where that went away, and then it was just the freelance stuff.
Sure.
But that happened in the early to mid 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've been kicking ass for a long time, dude.
Yeah, 30 years.
Good for you. More. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, any last things you want to plug? Or ask?
Rich? No. I mean, unless there's any like one great story we're missing, because he's got some doozies.
How about this? You working on any cool records right now that you want to talk about, or any? mixing anything that's cool?
Well, we never touched on this actually,
Sure.
but I do Atmos mixing as well, the spatial immersive mixing.
Oh, wow.
And I'm fully set up to do it too. I mean, there's a whole generation of kids who put headphones on and say they're mixing Atmos on a laptop.
Yeah.
That's not what I do. I have
The
12
actual-
speakers in the room.
Yeah.
Left, center, right, left side, right side, left rear, right rear, ceiling left, ceiling right, subwoofer.
I saw that
And,
at, what's a Black Horse recording, or what's the big one over there in Berry Hill?
I know who you're talking
Black
about.
Horse, or it is like the studio. Anyway, the guy showed me his immersive, and it was
McBride's studio.
yes, yeah, super famous
Yeah.
guy. Anyway, they had their immersive thing. It blew my mind.
Yeah. Oh, the room with all the diffuser sticks
Yeah.
and everything.
Yes,
it's a
yeah,
cool
that's
room.
exactly what I'm talking about.
It's a cool room.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I do that. And I've been doing it for a company called ABS-CBN in the Philippines. And it's pop music. It's straight up pop music. I would kind of categorize it as like K-pop kind of
yeah.
stuff. And the people are really cool. And the music is really good. And it lends really nicely to an atmospheric production. That's a lot of what I've been doing lately. That's been really, really cool.
That's
for me.
awesome.
And I can do that for anybody that wants an Atmos mix.
Are
I can give
you
it
on
to them.
social media? Man, I know it's tough, but you got to get on it
I know.
if you want
I
to get more
know.
clients. You'd be surprised. There'd be just somebody who goes, "Oh my god, that's like even this podcast. If you had it, I'd tag you on it. We'll
Right.
talk about it. We'll get them on it."
Cool.
I mean, you don't have
Please
to-
do. Look,
You have a-
I know where I'm good, and I know where I am, remedial.
Sure.
I'm good at sitting between the speakers and making it sound amazing.
Sure.
I am not good at social media, self promotion.
Sure.
That sort of thing. Anything that you want to.
Any youngsters out there who
College
who
kid.
know the Industry AF podcast, reach out and come and help this guy out and
Yeah, man.
take over his socials.
Maybe we could find like an intern.
If somebody is willing to do it and do it good, I'm all about it.
Do you have an Instagram?
I do. Yes.
What is it?
What is it?
What's the tag? What's the tag?
What's Instagram?
Let's look. Let's find out.
Did you look it up? Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's our intern over
I
there.
already got a young.
Oh, cool. All right.
We got a youngin, Rich Travali.
So you can confirm that I do have one.
Yeah. What's a all right? Well, cheers. We're gonna take this and then we're gonna end it. Thanks for coming, man. Cheers
Well,
to you.
thank you so much for having me, man. It's been a real pleasure.
Absolutely,
Thank you
man.
so
Yeah,
much.
great stories, great storytelling. Thank you, Russ. Thanks for
yeah.
doing it, man. Do you have a cup? No, Taylor. No cup. Oh, all right. Here we go. Cheers. All right.
Oh, I thought you said cut. Do you have a cut? This is
No, that's
Oh,
you're
the
still,
stick.
you're still going, right? All right, thank God. All right, so you think about it. All you gotta do is look at the middle camera, and we're gonna end it as soon as you say it. Just one word to sum it up. Of today, of everything, music. Just one word. You don't have to go right now, but think. And just look at the camera and go, boom.
Literally one word.
One word. Yeah.
This is the hardest thing of the whole time.
Yeah. The guy yesterday said he was a music manager. He said community. So just something like that. 808. You can say whatever you want. Yeah. 50 Cent.
legend.
Yeah.
That'd be my word.
Yeah.
Expertise.